Hello everybody and welcome to another Fight of the Night review. This is for the Fight of the Night at UFC 241 in the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. And the fight was between Paulo Costa and Yoel Romero on the main card. So without further ado, we are just going to get right the hell into it. This fight was pretty awesome. It's definitely on par with the fight I covered last week. Yoel Romero obviously is known for having really exciting fights. He's known for being really explosive. But it wasn't just him, obviously. You know, you can't have a great fight without two great fighters. And Paulo Costa was absolutely really good too. Round one starts off, they touch gloves and they basically get straight to the fighting. There's a lot of moments in round one where, like, one lands a shot and the other one falls, and then so on and so forth. And it goes back and forth throughout this in round one. And there's a moment at some point um, where Paulo is sort of being held against the cage by Romero, who is a really good wrestler. And Paulo goes for a knee to the body, and it sort of goes low accidentally. And I think when it came back down, it did actually hit Romero in the crotch. So there had to be a rest period, but Romero was fine. And the fight got to resume, and it was. And I think this was something. I think that the crotch hit was what made Romero look a bit slower, because he's usually known for his more fluid footwork, but he did look a bit wobbly after that, and we see that in round two and round three as well. I think that crotch shot did actually do quite a bit of damage, even with the cut protecting him. Even though he did recover, he did take a while to recover. So, yeah, I thought that was a good point to bring up. Good refereeing from the referee in this fight as well, Jason Herzog. Very good eye from him. So, yeah, he's a good ref. I feel like he deserves more credit. But yeah, this was, round one was definitely the most even round in my opinion. It was fairly close. I do feel like Paulo Costa did narrowly pinch it, but there was some pretty good stuff through and through. I think near the end of round one, it was sort of close when Romero went for a takedown, but Paulo caught it and managed to land some really big hooks while he was in the sprawling position before the fight ended the round. Before the round ended. The fight didn't end the round. The fight went the full 15 minutes. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, so they went back to the corners, and round two begins, and round two was a lot more one-sided. Paulo was landing some pretty big shots. He's landing most of them. I think he caught onto the fact that Romero was looking a bit sloppier in round two. And another thing, this was also noticeable near the end of round one as well, was Romero was breathing through his mouth. His mouth was open quite a lot, and that is usually a telling sign that you're not feeling too great. It did make me question how we even got a full 3 rounds, because Paulo landed some big shots and Romero managed to recover from them because he's a tough SOB. And that was, he landed his own good stuff. He did rock Paulo a couple of times in round two, but round two was definitely more Paulo's round. Round three was sort of mixed. It was definitely more Paulo's round, but it was fairly more even. Romero did start to get a bit of his steam back. He even landed a takedown near the end of round two, which I think is what got him his steam back in time for round three. Also got my cat here. And it really did look like, Romero was starting to get a bit motivated to get back fully into the fight. He didn't really get a chance to finish most of his opportunities. He did get a takedown in round three, I believe. But at the end of the day, it was like a lot of big shots from both sides, and Paulo definitely landing at a better clip. There were great moments when Paulo had Romero against the cage throughout the entire fight and landed some really good body combinations. Especially the body combination is really good. Body, head, all good stuff. At the end of the day, Paulo won by unanimous decision, and it was at the end of the day it was an exciting and fun fight. Like, both men were smiling at each other. There was a great moment in round three where, like, Paulo landed a shot, I think, and Romero was fine, and both men just sort of like put their hands behind their back and jutted out their chins at each other. And I was like, oh, getting into it now in round three. But yeah, like, the respect these two showed each other at the end of the day was really good. It was a fun fight. It was exciting. I definitely put it sort of on par with last week's one. It was more exciting than last week's fight. I wouldn't say it was better, but it was good. It was really good. I quite enjoyed it, and it might be best of the year. Well, might be on the best of the year list, I should specify. Best of the year is definitely last week's fight because that was really good. But yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about this one. It was mostly a stand-up war, except for a wee bit of wrestling and clinching every now and then. It was mostly Rock'em Sock'em style, especially in round one. There was a lot of big hits landed, especially Romero's uppercuts. Like his uppercuts were the big story in round one and throughout, especially in round three. Paulo's biggest like thing he had going for him was the body shots he landed to Romero. So it was a really good contrast between the two. But definitely, yeah, I believe Paulo won, and he won the judges' scorecards. It was definitely very cool. Um, and sort of in a cruel twist of irony, to sort of counteract the fact that Paulo did hit Romero accidentally with a crotch shot, Romero did get an accidental eye poke in round three. There was also sort of an accidental eye poke in round two, but the referee didn't really acknowledge it, and the fighter seemed to shrug it off anyway. I think Paulo accidentally caught Romero in the eye in round two. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, all in all, solid, really, really enjoyable fight. Not a lot to say that hasn't been said. I'll see you all probably tonight for another PVW Ting. Um, then after that, there's two more episodes to go before Over the Top, the pay per view, the Royal Rumble pay per view. Really looking forward to that. And I'll see you all for whatever's next. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.